be going with the entire module of this because we already have uh, two big videos on virtual machines and virtual machine scale set and virtual machine availability, which I have already created. So I will just let you know where you have to go to study virtual machines inside this particular module, right? So everything is there within these two videos, and those two videos are available within my channel. What we'll do is just after this, we'll jump on to another module, right? After telling you where you can read about virtual machines, I will jump on to another module, and that is something that I will teach to you, right? So whichever videos I already have, you can simply get them from the description that I'm going to let you know about. But I will be quickly going through this module which I have. This module talks about four different lessons: virtual machine planning, creating of virtual machines, virtual machine availability, and virtual machine extensions. Lesson one is virtual machine planning. Whenever you want to create something on Azure, let's say let's start with virtual machine, right? The first and the foremost important step is planning. I've seen a lot of people who have recently studied Azure and just they went to an organization and they start building infrastructure over there. No, first you have to draft the design. First you have to understand what are the pros and cons of creating a design, where you can put your virtual machine, what's the benefit of it, what's the disadvantage of it. You all have to do it in a documentation, in your design documentation that you want to create. Do not straight away go to portal and start creating your resources for your environment. Think of all the aspects, think of all the different scenarios which can give advantage to you when you're designing virtual machines infrastructure on Azure, and which can also cause problem to you. So the designing is the very important thing when it comes to virtual machine, right? So designing, planning, they are all the same thing. To do your planning, to do your designing, few things you need to keep in mind. What are those few things? The first one is, what are IaaS cloud service? If you do not know what are IaaS cloud service, I will show you the link where you can get information about it. IaaS is a vertical in cloud. There are three verticals: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. If you want to know what are the differences between the three of them, I have a specific dedicated video for you. So I'll be going to that video. So there is this video inside my channel which is what is cloud computing in Azure. So when you click on this video, I have extensively described what is IaaS, what is PaaS, and what is SaaS cloud service, right? I would recommend you to view what is cloud computing in Azure and introduction to Azure data center and regions, right? Also go ahead and read Learn Microsoft Azure Part 1. These are fundamental videos that I've created. So in these three videos you will understand what are IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS in detail. Okay. Sorry. Now planning. We always start with planning of our resources, planning of our virtual machine. Think which network you want to put your virtual machine in, which subnet you want to put your virtual machine in, where that virtual machine will be created. Will that virtual machine will be able to talk to other virtual machine and other networks? Think about that. Decide which location you want to keep this virtual machine in, right? What will be the size of it? Don't go for a size which is too big, because then you have to pay more cost. Don't go for a size which is too less, because then you will be able to uh, the performance will be low. So make sure you determine the appropriate size. Understand the pricing model. In virtual machines, we have a lot of different sizes that I will be showing you in a while, and there are different pricing models. For example, if you go to Azure, there is a pay as you go pricing model where you just pay for the resources that you want to buy, but there are also reserved instances that you can take from Azure. Reserved instances are something where you say, I want this virtual machine for 3 years, so they will subsidize the rate for you. This is very important from the project management perspective. So if you're going as a project manager for Azure, you want to think about these things, that how can I save cost? What is important to me? Should I is this virtual machine uh, I'll be using for a long amount of time? If yes, go with reserved instances. So all this information are there within the video that I'll just show to you. Consider storage for the VM. A virtual machine requires storage to store your disks, to store its diagnostic logs. You might not be aware about them as of now, which is fine, but you will be. And last but not the least, which operating system this virtual machine will be running on. Location and pricing. I don't know whether I've showed you this before or not, but there is a tool which is known as Azure Pricing Calculator. So when you go to Google and when you write Azure Pricing Calculator, this is the one best tool to do all kind of capacity planning. So when you are creating your Excel or creating your sheet for capacity planning, this tool will come handy to you, because this tool will tell you what exactly the cost of a resource will be on Azure. So select, here you go, there you go, inside the pricing calculator, select whichever service you want to use. I'll be choosing a very basic virtual machine in here, and then select which location you want it to be. So you can see in West US, same virtual machine cost $152. But if I simply select it to maybe Japan East, it is $161 over here, right? So selecting a location will affect the price of that resource, right? And if I simply select this location to maybe East Asia, there it is $197, right? And you can also see what kind of reservation you can do. If you do it for 1 year reserved, your price will change to $146. If you want to reserve it for 3 years, it will considerably change to $117. These kind of things you should keep in mind, because the higher you go in terms of how long you are going to take a virtual machine from Microsoft, the higher the subsidized rate they are going to give to you. Because if you tell them that I'm going to use this virtual machine for a long time, or this particular resource for a long time, they will give you that virtual machine on a subsidized rate. Okay, because then you are fixing it. It's just like when you are buying something from any shop, you are saying that I want this thing for, let's say, a particular amount of time. Then you are guaranteeing them that you are going to have that particular thing for this duration, right? There your payment there your rates are subsidized. So all this is described within the video that I'm going to show you. These are all the different sizes which are available. So Microsoft has arranged virtual machine in different sizes, which you can verify, which you can see. The questions that come inside the examination will not be about tell me exactly about what you get inside a particular size. No, but they might ask you what is the use of uh, N series virtual machines. So N series, as you can see, has a lot of GPUs, right? So for workloads where you want to do a lot of deep learning, a lot of model training, or you want to develop a high-end game, there you will be using N series virtual machines. A lot about it will be there within the video that I will give you the link of. Virtual machine also has different disks attached to it. By default, it has an operating system disk labeled as C drive. It has a D drive, which has a temporary storage, which is used for page files. So all this information is described within the video that I have. Storage option is also there, so I'll be quickly going through it. These are all the same things which are available. How do you create a virtual machine? Same information which is required, right? How do you connect to it? Through RDP. So what I will show to you is just an implementation of this PowerShell. So what information is available within the PowerShell, I will show to you. So in the second module, they ask you to create a VM first through Portal and then through PowerShell, right? And then you have Linux virtual machines which are available in here. How do you connect to a Linux virtual machine? That is also described in the video. Virtual machine availability. How do you make a virtual machine highly available? Extensively in a 2 to 3 hour video, I have described this before, right? I have explained fault domains, I have explained availability set, update domains, auto scaling, everything, right? So here in the third lesson, it's all about virtual machine availability set. This is also something that I will tell you where you can view about it. And finally, virtual machine extensions. This is also mentioned within that particular lesson. which I have already taken care of. Now, I'm just showing you this because you should be aware about what actual topics are there in 103. So in terms of virtual machine, not a lot has been changed. It is still the same. The concepts are still the same, right? So that is the reason why I would route you to the video which you now have to see to understand this whole module. So what you need to do is you need to go to my videos and search for Azure 20533 exam prep part 5 and part 6. Both parts are dedicated to virtual machines, right? So part 5 and part 6, I have extensively described auto scaling in here. I have extensively described how a virtual machine is created. On the right hand side, you can also see people asking me question who were there uh, in this live session. So there are two videos. One is part 5, another one is part 6, right? And it is exactly same what has been mentioned within the module, which is module 2 of 103. So nothing has been changed. This is scale set which has been described, so the same scale set has been mentioned in here. uh, this is availability zones, availability set which I have described, so it is also the same. Everything is there. So this is part 5th and this is part 6. Part 6 is also in continuation of virtual machine, I believe. But okay, you can leave part 6, I believe, because part 6 is about load balancer and stuff as far as I know. So let me just check 1 second. Okay, you can go ahead with part 5th and part 6. That's not a problem with me. Yeah, you can go ahead, but do not study load balancer in here, right? So skip the load balancer part in here because I will be explaining it to you later on. And even if you did, that is fine. Even if you go ahead and even if you read about load balancer from here, that is fine. But specifically you have to see part 5th. Part 5th is very important because that is what covers the entire module 2 of 103. Once you are done with it, you will be done with complete virtual machines module on module 2 of AZ-103. So for AZ-103, for module 2, what you need to do is you need to go to the video which is Azure 20533 exam part 5 and a little bit on part 6 as well. Okay, leave your question in the comments if you have any and I will answer them to you. So this will be all within this video because I've already covered virtual machine extensively in the past in detail. So just watch those videos, come up with questions, mention them within the comments of this question, right? And then we will be discussing about those questions. However, before you just go and watch those videos, I have something for you, which is some questions which are available in this book. So if you look at this book that I have with me, right, this book has certain Azure related questions at the end of each module. So I'm going at the end of module 1 because I have already taken module 1 before, and there we have certain you can say some sort of questions, some sort of lab review question. So module 1 doesn't have any because module 1 was very basic. But if you look at module 2 and if you go to the end of module 2, which is right here, let me go very quickly. Here you go. So after the end of module 2, which is about virtual machine, it has given you a lot of different questions, scenario based questions which actually help you in clearing your exam, right? So once you are done with those two videos that I have shown to you, which I have described to you that you should go to, come back here and answer these questions, right? So these questions are very important for you to understand how the how does virtual machine works. They are all related to virtual machine, right? So these are all the review questions that are available along with their answers as well, right? These review questions helps you in understanding what you have learned so far within this module, right? So how can you get this book? For getting this book, you won't be able to get this book up until Monday. From Monday, I will be sending you a link into my description. When you fill that link, when you go to that link and you fill that link, take a screenshot after filling, after submitting, send it to my email. I will be showing you my email address as well in this video. So my email address is mahesh08khulbe@gmail.com. Send that screenshot of completion of that form to me on my email address, and I will give you the PPT and the book which are available for this course. Or if you want to have PDF or PPT of any other course in Microsoft, you can also ask me, right? So you have to fill that link, which I will be sharing to you on Monday, not today. On Monday, it will be available on all my AZ-103 videos. Fill that up, submit it, get me a screenshot, send it to me on my email, and you will get this book and PPT for free. Okay. All right, guys. So for this module, module 2, again, go to 20533, Azure 20533, part 5th of my course. Do the labs from there, and you will be good with it. And the next will be coming with the module 3rd of AZ-103 course. Thank you all. If you have any questions, do leave them inside the comment box. Thanks. Bye-bye.